And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. He took of the stones of that place and put them for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of Elohim ascending and descending on it. And behold, Yahweh stood above it and said,
I am Yahuwah Elohai of Abraham your father, and the Elohai of Yitzhak. The land whereon you lie, to you will I give it, and to your seed. And your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in you, and in your seed, shall all the families of the earth be blessed. And behold, I am with you, and will guard you in all the places whither you go, and will bring you again into this land. For I will not leave you until I have done that which I have spoken to you of.
And Yaakov awoke out of his sleep, and he said,
Surely Yahuwah is in this place, and I knew it not.
And he was afraid and said,
How dreadful is this place! This is none other but the house of Elohim, and this is the gate of heaven.
And Jacob arose up early in the morning, and took the stone that he had put for his pillows, and set it up for a pillar, and poured oil upon the top of it. And he called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of that city was called Luz at the first. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying,
If Elohim will be with me, and will guard me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat, and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall Yahuwah be my Elohim, and this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be Elohim's house, and of all that you shall give me, I will surely give the 10th unto you.
Bereshit, Genesis, chapter 29. Then Jacob went on his journey, and came into the land of the people of the east. And he looked, and behold, a well in the field, and lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither there were all the flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in its place. And Jacob said unto them,
My brethren, whence be ye?
And they said,
Of Haran are we.
And he said unto them,
Know ye Laban, the son of Nahor?
And they said,
We know him.
And he said unto them,
Is he well?
And they said,
He is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter comes with the sheep.
And he said,
Lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together. Water ye the sheep, and go and feed them.
And they said,
We cannot, until all the flocks be gathered together, until they roll the stone from the well's mouth. Then we water the sheep.
And while he yet spoke with him, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near, and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel, and lifted up his voice, and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Ribkah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob his sister's son, that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him,
Surely you are my bone and my flesh.
And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob,
Because you are my brother, should you therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall your wages be?
And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel, and said,
I will serve you 7 years for Rachel, your younger daughter.
And Laban said,
It is better that I give her to you than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me.
And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to her. And Jacob said unto Laban,
Give me my woman, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her.
And Laban gathered together all the men of that place, and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter, and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah, his maid, for a handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban,
What is this that you have done unto me? Did I not serve with you for Rachel? Wherefore then have you beguiled me?
And Laban said,
It must not be so done in our country, to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give you this also for the service which you shall serve with me yet 7 other years.
And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week. And he gave him Rachel his daughter to be his woman also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah his handmaid to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. And when Yahweh saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived, and bore a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said,
Surely Yahuwah has looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my man will love me.
And she conceived again, and bore a son, and said,
Because Yahuwah has heard that I was hated, he has therefore given me this son also.
And she called his name Shimon. And she conceived again, and bore a son, and said,
Now this time will my man be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons.
Therefore was his name called Levi. And she conceived again, and bore a son, and she said,
Now I will praise Yahuwah.
Therefore she called his name Yehudah, and left bearing. Bereshit, Genesis chapter 30. And when Rachel saw that she bore Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister, and said unto Jacob,
Give me children, or else I die.
And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said,
Am I in Elohim's stead, who has withheld from you the fruit of the womb?
And she said,
Behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her.
And she gave him Bilhah her handmaid to be his woman. And Jacob went in unto her. And Bilhah conceived, and bore Jacob a son. And Rachel said,
Elohim has judged me, and has also heard my voice, and has given me a son.
Therefore called she his name Dan. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bore Jacob a second son. And Rachel said,
With great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed.
And she called his name Naphtali. And when Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah her maid, and gave her Jacob to be his woman. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bore Jacob a son. And Leah said,
A troop comes.
And she called his name Gad. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bore Jacob a second son. And Leah said,
Happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed.
And she called his name Asher. And Reuben went in the days of the wheat harvest, and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah,
Give me, I pray you, of your son's mandrakes.
And she said unto her,
Is it a small matter that you have taken my man? And will you take away my son's mandrakes also?
And Rachel said,
Therefore he shall lie with you tonight for your son's mandrakes.
And Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him, and said,
You must come in unto me, for surely I have hired you with my son's mandrakes.
And he lay with her that night. And Elohim hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived, and bore Jacob the 5th son. And Leah said,
Elohim has given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my man.
And she called his name Issachar. And Leah conceived again, and bore Jacob the 6th son. And Leah said,
Elohim has endued me with a good dowry, Now will my man dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons.
And she called his name Zebulun. And afterwards she bore a daughter, and called her name Dinah. And Elohim remembered Rachel, and Elohim hearkened to her, and opened her womb. And she conceived and bore a son, and said,
Elohim has taken away my reproach.
And she called his name Joseph, and said,
Yahuwah shall add to me another son.
And it came to pass, when Rachel had borne Joseph, that Jacob said unto Laban,
Send me away, that I may go unto my own place, and to my country. Give me my women and my children, for whom I have served you, and let me go. For you know my service which I have done you.
And Laban said unto him,
I pray you, if I have found favor in your eyes, tarry, for I have learned by experience that Yahuwah has blessed me for your sake.
And he said,
Appoint me your wages, and I will give it.
And he said unto him,
You know how I have served you, and how your cattle was with me. For it was little which you had before I came, and it is now increased unto a multitude. And Yahuwah has blessed you since my coming. And now, when shall I provide for my own house also?
And he said,
What shall I give you?
And Jacob said,
You shall not give me anything. If you will do this thing for me, I will again feed and guard your flock. I will pass through all your flock today, removing from thence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all the brown cattle among the sheep, and the spotted and speckled among the goats, and of such shall be my hire. So shall my righteousness answer for me in time to come, when it shall come for my hire before your face. Every one that is not speckled and spotted among the goats, and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me.
And Laban said,
Behold, I would it might be according to your word.
And he removed that day the he-goats that were ring-streaked and spotted, and all the she-goats that were speckled and spotted, and every one that had some white in it, and all the brown among the sheep, and gave them into the hands of his sons. And he set 3 days' journey betwixt himself and Jacob, and Jacob fed the rest of Laban's flocks. And Jacob took him rods of green poplar, and of the hazel and chestnut tree, and pilled white strakes in them, and made the white appear which was in the rods. And he set the rods which he had pilled before the flocks in the gutters, in the watering troughs, when the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. And the flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle, ring-straked, speckled, and spotted. And Jacob did separate the lambs, and set the faces of the flocks toward the ring-straked, and all the brown in the flock of Laban. And he put his own flocks by themselves, and put them not unto Laban's cattle. And it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Jacob laid the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, that they might conceive among the rods. But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in. So the feebler were Laban's, and the stronger Jacob's. And the man increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and maidservants, and menservants, and camels, and asses. Bereshit, Genesis chapter 31. And he heard the words of Laban's son, saying,
Yaakov has taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's has he gotten all his glory.
And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not towards him as before. And Yahweh said unto Jacob,
Return unto the land of your fathers, and to your kindred, and I will be with you.
And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the fields unto his flock, and said unto them,
I see your father's countenance, that it is not towards me as before, but the Elohim of my father has been with me. And ye know that with all my power I have served your father. And your father has deceived me and changed my wages 10 times, but Elohim suffered him not to hurt me. If he said thus, the speckled shall be your wages, then all the cattle bore speckled. And if he said thus, the ring-straked shall be your hire, then bore all the cattle ring-straked. Thus Elohim has taken away the cattle of your father, and given them to me. And it came to pass at the time that the cattle conceived, that I lifted up my eyes, and I saw in a dream, and behold, the rams which leaped upon the cattle were ring-straked, speckled, and grizzled. And the angel of Elohim spoke unto me in a dream, saying, Yaakov. And I said, Here I am. And he said, Lift up now your eyes, and see all the rams which leapt upon the cattle are ring-straked, speckled, and grizzled, for I have seen all that Laban does unto you. I am the Elohim of Bethel, where you anointed the pillar, and where you vowed a vow unto me. Now arise, get you out of this land, and return unto the land of your kindred.
And Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him,
Is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house?
Are we not counted of him strangers? For he has sold us, and has quite devoured also our money.
For all the riches which Elohim has taken from our father, that is ours, and our children's. Now then, whatsoever Elohim has said unto you, do.
Then Jacob rose up and set his sons and his women upon camels, and carried away all his cattle, and all his goods which he had gotten, the cattle of his getting, which he had gotten in Padan Aram, for to go to Yitzchak his father in the land of Canaan. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the teraphim that were her father's. And Jacob stole away unawares to Laban the Aramite, in that he told him not that he fled. So he fled with all that he had, and he rose up and passed over the river and set his face toward the Mount Gilead. And it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob was fled. And he took his brethren with him and pursued after him 7 days' journey, and they overtook him in the Mount Gilead. And Elohim came to Laban the Aramite in a dream by night, and said unto him,
Take heed that you speak not to Yaakov, either good or bad.
Then Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the Mount Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob,
What have you done, that you have stolen away unawares to me, and carried away my daughters as captives, taken with the sword? Wherefore did you flee away secretly, and steal away from me, and did not tell me, that I might have sent you away with mirth, and with songs, and with tabret, and with harp, and have not suffered me to kiss my sons and daughters? You have now done foolishly in so doing. It is in the power of my hand to do you hurt. But the Elohim of your father spoke unto me yesternight, saying, Take heed that you speak not to Yaakov either good or bad. And now, though you would needs be gone, because you sore longed after your father's house, yet wherefore have you stolen my Elohim?
And Jacob answered and said to Laban,
Because I was afraid, for I said, Perchance you would take by force your daughters from me. With whomsoever you find your Elohim, let him not live, before our brethren discern what is yours with me, and take it to you.
For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the 2 maidservants' tents, but he found them not. Then he went out of Leah's tent, and entered into Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the teraphim, and put them in the camel's furniture, and sat upon them. And Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. And she said to her father,
Let it not displease my lord that I cannot rise up before you, for the custom of women is upon me.
And he searched, but found not the teraphim. And Jacob was wroth, and chode with Laban. And Jacob answered and said to Laban,
What is my transgression? What is my sin, that you have so hotly pursued after me? Whereas you have searched all my stuff, what have you found of all your household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and your brethren, that they may judge betwixt us both. This 20 years have I been with you. Your ewes and your she-goats have not cast their young, and the rams of your flock have I not eaten. That which was torn of beasts I brought not unto you. I bore the loss of it. Of my hand did you require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was in the day the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from my eyes. Thus have I been 20 years in your house. I served you 14 years for your 2 daughters, and 6 years for your cattle, and you have changed my wages 10 times. Except the Elohai of my father, the Elohai of Abraham, and the fear of Yitzhak had been with me, surely you had sent me away now empty. Elohim has seen my affliction, and the labor of my hands, and rebuked you yesternight.
And Laban answered and said unto Jacob,
These daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle, and all that you see is mine. And what can I do this day unto these my daughters, or unto their children which they have borne? Now therefore come, let us cut a covenant, I and you, and let it be for a witness between me and you.
And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren,
Gather stones.
And they took stones and made a heap, and they did eat there upon the heap. And Laban called it Yegar Sahaduta, but Jacob called it Galid. And Laban said,
This heap is a witness between me and you this day.
Therefore was the name of it called Galed. And Mitzpah, for he said,
Yahuwah watch between me and you, when we are absent from one another. If you shall afflict my daughters, or if you shall take other women beside my daughters, no man is with us. See, Elohim is witness betwixt me and you.
And Laban said to Jacob,
Behold this heap, and behold this pillar, which I have cast betwixt me and you. This heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to you, and that you shall not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm. The Elohai of Abraham and the Elohai of Nahor, the Elohai of their father, judge betwixt us.
And Jacob swore by the fear of his father Yitzchak. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread, and tarried all night in the mount. And early in the morning Laban rose up, and kissed his sons and his daughters, and blessed them. And Laban departed, and returned unto his place. Bereshit, Genesis chapter 32. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of Elohim met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said,
This is Elohim's host.
And he called the name of that place Machanaim.